Now, sadly, today I heard the famous singer Christine McVie passed away, right? Of Fleetwood Mac, right? Now, see, that's the point I'm making, though. Once someone dies, right, they can't sing their part anymore. Yeah. But that's where impersonators come in, right? See, you want to do these songs, even Elvis, right? Yet no one's allowed to sound like Elvis, right? I don't think they can't sound like Elvis. I think you won't let them sound like Elvis. And it could be part of his damn contract, I don't know. But it don't make sense, or no? No, it don't. I think a bunch of people, especially men, can do Elvis. Who can sing. And I think you want to lie about it, right? And the reason is, he's the original artist, so what, only he can sing that way? No. If you're a good listener and you can sound like a monk, you can sound like Elvis, right? If you're in the way, there's a better day. Right. I know. Now, here's the problem, like I keep telling you. If you're just learning about Jesus, right, and you're already prejudiced, I know, how can he reach you? Right, he can't. Once Emperor Constantine stepped in, by the way, Christian Fellowship Church, Davis ain't total bull crap, but he is enough, right? That's the problem, right? And he didn't use it to promote Jesus, but his own beliefs, right? His own hang-ups with sex, right? That's the problem there, too, right? I know you know, right? If it's about sex for the man and not Jesus, he's about sex like Jim Jones was, right? And not the truth, right? And that's the whole problem, though, right? Only the truth can make you free, right? Everyone else is making a deal with the devil to Pelboom Night, losing in the Saturday night, right? Yeah. And you usually lose when you make a deal with the devil. Even if he offers you 2 holes for one, right? Like, you could have done that, right? But see, when you won't even acknowledge the possibility, you're being what, right? Prejudice, right? Now, something has to die to cause the death of all, right? And it's got to be both similar to you, but also different than you, right? To seduce both you and your wife. To beguile her, as Paul said. Satan had to be in the flesh, fool. A serpent, can talk you into eating of a tree you never eaten of before, right? Sure. But what is talking for the snake, right? If they have no vocal cords, right? Now, you might could say if Eve thought it was a certain tree, was the serpent moving towards the tree and she thought it was talking? I don't know. Was it already in the tree? Some picture the serpent in the tree. Yeah. Think about it that way, too. If something's in the tree already and it's talking to you by appearance, something could also be behind the tree that you can't see yet until you go over to try to eat of the tree. This could be the fig tree where it comes into play. So the fig tree and the tree we're not supposed to eat of was behind the tree. Wasn't really a tree either. Yeah. Every tree that bringeth forth not good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. That means you too are a tree. And you either bringing forth good fruit or evil fruit or lukewarmly good and evil fruit. You see the point? All right. We all do that. We all choose to stay, right? What we will do, right? But what do you want, right? You can't change, right? Other people. Only yourself. Only yourself. And the thing is, right, when you do something wrong, right, you're wrong. You're wrong. When others, they're wrong, right? Exactly. So, that's the problem too, right? Now, when one person ain't with somebody, right, it's weird, right, for you to know something about it, right? When you can't know nothing about it, right? Unless you're part of a conspiracy to set me up, right? See, the thing about entrapping someone, right, is someone always says debate. But the problem with debate is I wouldn't see it that way. Right? In the first place, right? Now, I was a little off my rocker, not saying that either, right? But not enough to hurt a 4-year-old girl, right? Waking me up or not, right? And I keep telling you this, right? The child don't normally wake up the sleeping step parent, but if they do, it could indicate either coaching, curiosity, or I told my ex-wife that she's ratting on herself, right? Which one, I don't know, right? See, that's the problem with amnesia, right? 2 weeks later. Do you think Daphne would understand it herself if I told her I don't remember anything happening, right? But someone else is acting like they do, and the only time I could have told her was before I blacked out. On base, right? Does that make sense to her? But not you, of course. Because that means you blacked me out and not the fault. That means a sailor attacked another sailor to hide his secret, right? Which can't be proven, right? What actually happened, right? Just that I was injured and someone's butting into something that was never their business, right? And they can't prove either. And like I told them, unless you were at the wreck and the fall, you don't know what the hell you're talking about either. And the only one there was my stepbrother, and he died with that secret, or he's keeping the secret and faking his death. Either way, I'm screwed, right? And can't prove what happened, right? But nor can he, right? See, he can't prove I did anything wrong, but nor can I prove he didn't either, right? And it would be probably over the girl, right? If I met one at Vivian's house, right? And we made it that far. Either way. Now, either I had sex with her and the mother overreacted, or thought we did and overreacted. I don't know which it would be now, right? Either, only the girl would die, right? And you gotta ask her if I've statutory raped her or not herself, right? And if she said no, knows the answer. Knows the answer. Quit trying to make something out of nothing, right? But see, that's the point about warning her about you can even have sex with me, but you're supposed to stay with your mom or around your family, not me. Not me. I don't know you that well. If you show up to my house and you want sex with me, I don't even know it's you, right? Really. So if you do all that, you could have, but I don't know, right? But not because I'm seducing you. I'm such a catch right now, right? Now, maybe when your mom was interested, I was kind of a catch, right? But not now, I look like a disabled veteran, don't I? Overweight. Most veterans are, right? Little muscle tone, right? Some veterans do, right? I know that too. Some veterans let go of themselves, where some don't, right? It depends, right? And there are different ways to be injured and be a disabled veteran. Even on base, you're a disabled veteran. You don't have to be in a war to be disabled in your time of service, right? What kind of messed up foobarred idea is that, right? If you're injured on base, that's where it is in the first place. If you're locked out your room and they don't have a master key, right? To begin with, right? But that you can deal with, even, right? If you're injured or not, right? Usually too, right? But if the last thing you know is you were trying to get into the room, that's of course the last thing you remember, right? For waking up in the ER. If someone knows something they're not supposed to know, that's suspicious too, right? Because see, that's, like I told him, was exposed to my ex-wife, not me, not you. You're acting like she did something wrong too, and I can't do nothing with her, she's with her, right? He won't let that sink through his head, right? That's how lost he is, right? And pretending he's right when he's wrong, right? That's standard fake prophet 101. The prophet insists he's right when he's wrong and he's not a witness to it, but he's playing like he is, like the people in the Bible he thinks are lying too, right? Even the true prophets, the few there are. And Isaiah is the one who clues you into kings with breasts. Using the word SHD, which is talking about suckling the milk, right, of the Gentiles, right? And the breasts of kings you will suck, right? Well, it uses shad there, and that's why Jews interpret it as riches instead of breasts, right? See, they couldn't grasp what Isaiah meant, right? But they're denying the idea of a hermaphroditic king, right? And I know what it is, right? But I also have information they weren't party to back then. Do you understand what that means, right? They might not have wanted to see what it meant, right? Either, right? But there's a big difference between shad, right, and riches too, right? And that's what Jesus said. You think you're rich when you're poor, right? You think you see, but you're blind. He's talking to the lukewarm church, which is what we all are a part of, right? That's also the 300-year period from the fall. Or from Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection until now too, right? So someone's hiding something here, right? And don't want you to know that part of Jesus, but John backed it up by using a specifically spelled word in the Greek, right? Now, he could have spelled it simply M-A-S-T-O-S. That should be enough for some people, but it's not how he spelled it, right? He added an I. Well, that's the same word Luke used when talking of Jesus being nursed by his mother, right, from a woman in the crowd, or warning the women that the days will come and the days they will say, blessed are the paps that never sucked and the wombs that never bore, right? Some might say that could have to do with abortion. I don't know. But it also says of Jezebel, she will kill her children with death. There's reasons for that, and don't try to control people. Try to love them despite their inability to understand the truth themselves. That's what Jesus' real message was, ain't it? Right? Did he go to the cross condemning the people or forgiving them? Forgiving them. They knew not what they were doing, even if they did, right? Even if they knew they were crucifying a man on the cross for claiming certain claims they didn't think he could make, right? Are you, as a man, allowed to take another man's life just because you don't agree with what he's saying, right? That should be a no-no too, right? To just murder someone because you think they're wrong, right? If God did help him and he was raised 3 days later, the only witnesses are those closest to him, which if the leader is now no longer the leader, right, and trying to pass the buck, say to the Apostle Paul or the Apostle John, they covered the androgynous idea of Jesus, where the Gnostics were able to pick it up for 3 centuries, right, and talked about it themselves, right, to kind of explain Satan's viewpoint. He's the one who hates the material world, not God who made it, right? But he is the God who thinks there's something wrong with the God who made it, right? Like the Gnostics said he is, right? There is a Yaldabaoth, right, that don't want you to know the truth, and wants you to think something's wrong with the material world, right? But it ain't the God who made it, right? See, can you tell when someone's talking to you sarcastically or literally, too, in a written form, right? It's harder in the written form than in the speaking form, right? But even then, people can get people confused, right? Whole point. Have a good evening.